Welcome again, everyone. So tonight we're working on the old second gen welding rig, and I've been having some issues, not really issues, but some problems with the creature comforts here on the old welding rig. And for 94, there's not many of them, but stuff like your battery charging and AC, those are kind of important. So I've already kind of fixed the issues that I've been having, but hopefully I can resolve one that I'm having tonight. And this is kind of for those who may have the same issue. Basically, my PCM went bad. No, PCM? I think they call it PCM on here. The computer went bad on this truck, and I have lost the speedo, the tach, AC, and charging. I've lost all those things here. So I've got them working, again, not properly, but whereas you can't buy a new ECM anymore. This truck is almost 30 years old, so therefore I figured I might as well just figure out how to bypass all this so I don't have to worry about it again, because everything else engine-wise is mechanical. So before we dive into that, the shop is a mess. I am been pretty busy at work lately, and I just got back from vacation a couple days ago, so I have had no time to do things that I want to do, but we need to do some things here. Hopefully I can get rolling on projects that we've already started, we get caught up on, and finish those up so we can start something new. But let's dive into this evening's video. I'm going to be making this video here to hopefully address some other people's problems, issues that they may be having with this, and my kind of workaround how to fix them. So if you are one of my subscribers here, I appreciate y'all watching. If this does not interest you, feel free to, go ahead and leave if you want to. I'm going to talk a little bit of details here and there, but this is I think they call it an external voltage regulator. I can't remember. I purchased this on old eBay. Can you read that part number? Can you read that? Why is it not focused? GoPros are awesome, but it's IN8315 if you can't read that. It's either, I think it's called an external regulator, but basically we're converting the alternator to a one wire. That's basically what this does. Here is I don't think you're gonna be able to read any of this because I have no idea if this is in focus or not, but you can go ahead and pause the video if you want to try to read that. Again, this is a GoPro and I have really no way of knowing if it's clear or not because I'm dealing with a tiny little screen. So what I've done to temporarily fix this is I've installed over here an external voltage regulator that I bought from O'Reilly's. This is the better of the two. I bought the cheaper one, which I forget what the Master Pro, is that what it's called? This isn't the AC Delco, but it's the one step up from the base one, whatever. But I'm getting a pulsating with the lights with this. It works, it charges the batteries, it does its job, but it's just I'm getting at idle, I'm getting a pulse, more frequently than at RPM. It still kind of flickers, but I'm just getting a surge, if you will, with this. So what I'm hoping to do is to replace this with said voltage regulator / one wire conversion, if you will. And I've already run power to over here. I ran a separate key on power over to here, and then I've got the two field connections. So basically we have to take apart the back of the alternator. Again, I don't know if you can see this or not, but we've got to take it back, take the back of this off, and then do a couple connections, run these couple wires through the cover, and then put them on the field windings. And I'll go over a little better as we go. But basically, the only thing, if you're installing this, you only need a key on power over to here. So you can basically just take, there's a green and a blue going into here, and that's your field connections, your field windings. Doesn't matter which one it goes to. It does matter with this as far as, I forget, we'll go over that, but there is key on power has to go to one of these. I want to say it's the orange. So basically we got to take this apart, do some stuff here. I've already got key power. You can put key power, you can find it over there, or just do like I did and run a separate one over to here. It's up to you. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart and go from there. So I hope you can see well enough and my camera abilities are what they should be. Keep in mind, so everything's off the back, but keep in mind that the bottom down here on your stud is hot. So I just tucked it over here. You can unhook the batteries if you feel, but I just tucked it between the coolant tank and that there shroud. So the hardest part about this whole install is basically, you know, just getting to it, and it helps if you have a very short screwdriver or one of these to be able to break free what you need here. So just underneath that screw right here on the bottom, so I'm backing away, it's right underneath your two field terminals. You're gonna need to take that one free, and that's where it mounts to. So this here will mount just like so, okay? Then if we come up here, you can see the diagram there. Again, it's probably not in focus, but the red wire goes to the, it's gonna go, you can see it's gonna go right here on this Phillips or this one. I put one on another truck before. I can't remember if it's this one or this one. But you're gonna do that. Then you're gonna ground. The black is your ground right there. Connect black to said. And then these here, they can be either or. The green and the orange can go on either one of these, but it just has to be, again, if you can read this, cool, but it's got to be, the orange is the ignition. That's the one that you have to have the power to. So the field terminal that becomes hot, 12 volts with the ignition switch on, must be connected to the field stud of the alternator that has the orange wire of the regulator connected to it. So whichever, it doesn't matter which one they go to, but the positive has to be on the, or the key power has to be on the orange wire. So I'm going to go ahead and get all this installed and then show you after the fact, and it should all hopefully make sense. So pretty basic. You can see what's going on there. Red to the positive. The black is grounded on the stud you pulled out to put the regulator in. And then don't forget to put on anything that fell off like this did on me. Put that back on. And then once you get your wires through, get your cover on, just make sure you got your heat shrink where you can get that, and then shrink it around to where it protects here. I probably wouldn't do it now because these wires need to kind of shimmy them around to get them in there. And then I got to figure out which one, because I've got mine run through this here distribution block on this truck, if you want to call it that. So I got to figure out which one of these is positive, because like I said, I've got it run into here. And then I can go ahead and put the orange on which one it matters, so on and so forth. So I'm going to get this put back together, and we'll see how it works. So we're all back together here. In my case, the orange one wound up being on the bottom. Again, it doesn't matter. It just needs to be to the correct one. So we're going to go ahead and fire it up. Over here, I just got this unplugged for now, because the way this works is you put, I forget which one it is, but you put power to one of these. Basically, one needs key power, the other one goes to the other field, and that's how that works. So right now I've got key power. It's going over to there, but we don't want this to function. We just want the new piece we installed to function. So we're gonna go ahead and start it up, try it out, see if that works. Probably hard to tell, but it's not bouncing around like it was before. It was real bad. It would surge under load. Again, it's not doing that even with RPM change. So all good there. The other thing, let me turn the truck off. By the way, if you don't already have your choke cable kill installed, do you even own a 12 valve? So we fixed that problem. The other problem that I was having is the AC. I lost the AC with all that. So my simple solution is, it's not the right way, but it gets me by. This is my compressor on, the compressor off. It's as simple as that. So I just have the relay grounded out. That's what this is. So I just have jump the relay in the panel over there and under the hood, ran into the cab, on-off switch, and then grounded it somewhere in here. That's the simplest way. Again, like if you're on the lowest fan setting, it will freeze up, but I just cycle on and off. And then if I'm idling, it's just like, it's kind of right with a fan on full blast, AC on, idling, it does not freeze up. So if times I am sitting for a minute or two at work or what have you, it doesn't freeze up. Usually as soon as I start going, the RPMs come up and the compressor starts working harder. That's when it freezes up. So even on full blast when I'm driving home, I gotta flick it on and off sometimes. But I'm trying to figure out how I can do basically do the same thing the computer does, because that's what the PCM does, is it grounds out the compressor, or it grounds out the relay. That's what controls the high and low sensor on here. So I'm trying to figure out a way where I can just make my own standalone high and low pressure switch, which I have no idea, other than it would be a bunch of little need a circuit board of some sort and so on and so forth. But I don't want to put a PCM in here because, again, like I had mentioned before in the beginning of this video, this truck's almost 30 years old now. I don't want to have to rely on old equipment. So other than that, the truck is more or less functioning as it should, mechanical. I was having a problem with my headlights where the switch up here wasn't working, so these are my headlights, if you can see that. Also, if you haven't got yourself some aux beam fog lights yet, you need to get you some. Still working great. If you haven't seen the install of these, go back a couple videos. We kind of reworked this bumper and everything. Go check that out. But if you want a discount, it'll be in the description below. Other than that, I don't have too much else to say here. The relay for that AC is in here. It says on the cover there. Yeah, I'm gonna drive it, see how it works out, and go from there. So appreciate y'all watching. Hope this helps somebody else out. So if you're still sticking around for this far in the video, last little tidbit, kind of some troubleshooting, how I know the PCM is bad. A couple months ago, I was on the way to work and basically I noticed that, I was getting low on voltage. I just steadily see it dropping. And it's happened to me before, and it wound up being the alternator. Something was going on where sometimes it would charge, sometimes it wouldn't. So I changed out the alternator, and I diagnosed that to be the alternator because I would hit it with a hammer and or something wood or whatever, and it would charge. And then there was something not making connection, realized there was a crack in it, so I changed it out with the one I had, figured that out, and it worked fine for a while, and then it started doing the same thing. So I started looking around. So the two main things why it wouldn't charge usually is, obviously, it could be the alternator. I guess three things. Alternator could be the ESS, the engine speed sensor, not the crank sensor, engine speed sensor on 12 valve, or the PCM. So I started digging around, found some wiring diagrams, and so I pulled the plug up here. I probed the top of the plug. I'm not getting, there's supposed to be an 8-volt supply and a 5-volt supply, and I'm getting like half a volt in both of them. So I'm like, okay, well, there's either a break here or it's in the PCM. So one day I did take off the thing there and I back probed the PCM. I'm getting power in and I'm getting nothing out. So I more or less troubleshooted that the PCM is definitely a problem, and that's where that went down. But the common problem is the engine speed sensor, which is on the crank down there, and it can be out of adjustment or it can just practically go bad. So I did wind up ordering another one of those in the light of that being the problem over there, the PCM not being the problem, and it was actually this. But as it goes, PCM's bad. So that's where we're here, or that's why we're here. And hope to keep this truck going for a lot more miles. I'm gonna be doing some some upgrades in the future to this truck. It'll probably be a while. We're gonna get to work on something else. So appreciate y'all watching if you've stayed around this long. See you all in the next video. Thanks, guys.